So I've been in London about a month, but I haven't posted any videos yet. But I wanted to do a quick video that I would slap together and post, not worry too much about the bells and whistles, because a handful of days ago we lost Matt Perry. I just thought it would be worthwhile to share a story I have about Matt Perry, sort of a connection I have with him, kinda, sorta. I never met him exactly. We definitely did have an encounter.
Hello, good evening, and welcome. My name is Michael Paul King, and this is my YouTube channel, currently called, what should I name this YouTube channel? We'll get into that later.
Back when Friends was on the air, I watched it. It was part of the fiber of our culture at the time, for sure. But on balance, I'd probably have to say that I have missed more episodes of it than I've seen. But anytime I did watch it, I was very struck by how well done it was. So well directed, so artfully crafted in its writing in particular, and that cast, right? That cast was something else. It's a rare thing like that on a show, where you get a cast that meshes with that kind of chemistry and that kind of camaraderie, both on screen and off, seemingly. And out of that cast, my favorite character always was Chandler, Matt Perry. Maybe because I just related to him and his situation the most when I was younger, which is kind of what this little video is about, in a somewhat weird way. You wouldn't look at me and go like, oh, yeah, he's very much like Matt Perry. No, not now. But like during the Friends heyday, I was constantly being told from all corners, friends and strangers alike, that I looked, acted, had the same sense of humor, the same mannerisms, the same comedic timing as Matt Perry, Chandler. Look, I was not pursuing acting at the time, so it wasn't like it was in the context of taking a comedy class or something like that. That was not it. It was just me in the world, constantly encountering people who are like, oh my God, you're just like Chandler. Oh my God, you're just like Matt Perry. Oh my God. I had people who literally, I'd walk into the room or they'd, hey, Chandler. True story. I wasn't big enough a fan of the show to try to be emulating him, but I heard it so much. Oh, you look like him. I don't look like him. Or do I? No, I don't. Nah, nope. But I guess there was some truth in it, right? Matthew Perry was literally a month or two younger than me. So we were born right around the same time. I was born at the beginning of July. He was born mid to late August of 1969. So we were right in the pocket. And we were similar types. White boys, blue eyes, I think. Skinny at the time, with foofy brown full heads of hair at the time. God, I miss those days. Similar energy and lovable, adorable. I'll take that. But I did not ever think that I looked like him. And to look at me now, you wouldn't go there at all, right? You'd be like, what? But, this was 25 years ago or so. I looked very different. Matt Perry also aged. Matt had his own struggles. As we well know, he's been very public about it, well documented. That has also affected how he's aged. That's not why I made this video, so I won't go too deep into that. Why I made this video is because of my odd encounter with him. Yes, right around that time, my first job after moving to Los Angeles was as a post-production supervisor for a TV movie for Fox. That job was actually on the Warner Brothers lot. And I shared an office with a guy named Bob Dobrino, who was a real character. He was sort of a go-getter, wheeling and dealing kind of guy, trying to make projects happen in Los Angeles. He used to call me King World. King World! King World, which was a production company that was huge right around that time. My last name's King World, there it is. Clever. Anyway, Bob invited me to a premiere screening. I think it might have been a backdoor pilot, meaning a movie that's made for television that could potentially be the pilot episode of a series. So it starred Kevin Pollak, and I got to go to the premiere of that, which was in a very, very nice theater. And there was a reception afterwards in the lobby, a very nice lobby, with a lot of some celebrities there. Kevin Pollak was there, obviously. I think Felicity Huffman might have been there. Sarah Silverman, I think, was there. But one other guy was there who was not in the cast, and that guy was Matt Perry. Now, this was in the late 90s. This would have been about 97, I think. So he was at the heyday of Friends at that time. And I was pretty much at the heyday of, you look just like Matt Perry. You look like Chandler. Chandler? No, I don't. I didn't know he was there. I was out in the lobby, just kind of hanging back. I'm not good at schmoozing with famous people or anything like that. Just kind of watching, people watching, scanning the room, like, oh, look at that. Oh, eating my hors d'oeuvres, not wanting to bother any of the celebrities. Because I was a beggar at the feast. I was a hanger-on, people. I was an interloper. I wasn't properly invited to this thing. I was brought along as baggage to somebody who may or may not have been invited to this thing. Bob Dobrino. And as I'm just standing there kind of scanning the crowd, enjoying myself, all of a sudden my eyes just lock with another guy whose head turned just as mine did. And it was Matt Perry. And I'm telling you, I describe it as, oh my God, it was like looking into a mirror. It was weird. It was surreal. That was so creepy. It was creepy. It was kind of creepy. It was like running into your doppelganger. He seemed to have the same reaction. He and I both caught each other's eye and went, and there was like this double take and then an uncomfortable, like, I swear to God, this happened. That happened. And again, this was 25 years ago. And I told that story then, the night it happened, and I've told the story over the years about that odd encounter. Might I be misinterpreting his reaction or making it up even to some degree? Maybe. But I'm telling you, my experience is that is what happened. And I'll never know what his experience was. I did not go up to him. I did not speak to him. I didn't do it. I didn't want to bug anybody. Was he scanning the room and saw me and said, wait, is that my stunt double? I don't know. Is that my stand-in? I don't know. Should I know that guy? Whoa. Are we long lost brothers or something? Do you know both of your parents? That's the guy I see every day when I look in the mirror and brush my teeth. I don't know. My version of the story. And it could have been one of those things where there's somebody on TV who's a celebrity you see all the time in that context. And then you're in a situation where you run into them in the real world. IRL, as the kids say. And it's surreal. It's like, oh, that's the guy from TV. Oh, that's weird. He's a real human being, flesh and blood. What do you know? That's bizarre. I've seen you all my life. You're like a weird auxiliary family member, yet here you are in the real world, and Matt Perry's on a whole other level, obviously, of that. So from my side, it might have just been that, right? But even at that point, I'd worked with enough well-known actors and celebrity types to not have experienced that. That was the only time I experienced that. And again, I had no preconceived thought that I looked like him or anything like that. But man, felt like we had that moment. While we don't look alike, we are alike. I don't know. Then I went like, okay, I don't get it, but I get it. People say I'm like Chandler. I can't explain it. It's ineffable. It's transcendent. But I guess I get it. Anyway, that's pretty much the sum total of the story because I didn't go talk to him or anything, but I remember that every so often over the years. And with his passing, the story came back to me. I only got back in acting, I think it's about 7 years now, and have taken sitcom acting classes and come to appreciate the craftsmanship and the uniqueness that he brought to the table with his style. He was a master at what he did, So much so that there is actually an acting class in Los Angeles. They have a thing they teach in the class called the Perry. My base understanding of it is when you're analyzing text for comedic effect, the words you choose to emphasize to make the comedy work, he would often flip that on its head, right? Where he would find that word that he would emphasize was very singular to his style. And I think that's where we get the sort of Chandler catchphrase, like, could it be any more? Blah, blah, blah. That was him. That rhythm, that emphasis on beat, that's kind of the best example I can think of. His timing was impeccable. And then, as I got back into acting, because I was not even in the headspace or otherwise considering getting back into acting at that point in my life at all. It wasn't even a thought I had. Not even a sparkle in my eye. But yeah, as I got back into acting, I was like, oh, I wonder if someday I could get cast to play his older, heavier set brother. That rattled around my head a little bit. Would people still think we look alike? Well, that's not going to happen now. So I read something recently after his passing. His ex was interviewed, and she mentioned that the two of them had sat down to watch Friends episodes, which he hadn't done in a long time, apparently. And because he had the gift of time, distance, and could look at it with sort of fresh, somewhat objective eyes, he watched it and really enjoyed it. And he exclaimed to her very excitedly, and I'm paraphrasing, "Oh my God, that was good. Look what I did there. Did you see what I did there? Oh, that was good." I was good. He was good. He was very good. And I'm glad at least maybe, I guess he got a little taste of remembering that or realizing that. And I hope he felt appreciated, because he was good, right? And the gift of him being good, so good, brought so many of us the gift of joy, right? Over the course of years and decades. So thank you, Matt Perry, for being my doppelganger. You're doing so good. Really good. And goodbye.